Okay, hello and welcome to day 27 of my first playthrough of Hollow Knight. Hello Gian, I hope you're doing well today. Good to see ya. Um, so last time I finally made it to the White Palace. As you can see, um, I made it through like the first portion, and then I also completed the Path of Pain, which was most of the stream. Took about 2 hours, and then got the Seal of Binding and saw this interesting little scene with the king and what looked like the main character, but I was checking the VOD, I watched the scene again, and the character next to the king had different, their horns looked different. They were like a little bigger and slightly different shape. But otherwise they look just like the main character, so I don't know what's going on there. Also, on this emblem, the horns look like kind of like the main character's horns. Well, more like the Hollow Knight's kind of head, I guess. Hollow Knight as in like the statue in the town square. Good to hear it, Gian. Yeah, so I'm just gonna get into it. I'm gonna continue the palace, which I'm excited for because I've been enjoying it as a big platformer fan. And then we'll see if I can finish this quickly enough. I might move on and do the final boss and possibly finish like the main game today. We'll see where I get to. Before I start though, I feel like I need to address something. And by the way, how does the game audio and my voice sound? Do they sound like balanced? I adjusted them a little bit before stream. I'm like constantly adjusting that stuff because it's just like never good enough when I check the VODs. I'm like a perfectionist though, but so I turned the game audio up a little bit, and but it sounds good to you? Okay, it's good to hear. I just don't want like the music to be drowning out my voice, and I don't want the game audio to be too quiet. So I feel like I need to apologize for something. And I say that like jokingly, I'm not being super serious about this, but boy did I check my VOD and I was just like, I just like face palming out of my mind. Like, so yesterday I completed this challenge on the right first, and then I came back to this room and this door wasn't open yet and I got stuck. I was like, well, where do I go? And I thought I had like looked everywhere in this room. I like went up here. I was like I'm guessing there's another challenge to do. And then I came down here, and now this is locked too, of course. And so do you see how like the floor here is kind of like, the camera makes it look like it's like the lowest part of the room when you come down here. And then as you can see, you can go down here. And this is where I entered this area. I mistakenly thought this is where I entered the area on the left here, without just realizing it was a new passage. So I was like watching the VOD and I was like, oh my god, like anyone watching this was just like screaming, like, what an idiot. Like, I was like looking over here and I'm like, where do I go? And it's right there. But I thought that was, because these two, they're like right next to each other, I thought, I just like equated them. It was just a bad case. Yeah, you know, Gian, you know, I'm sure you know, I think you were there, I think you were watching. So yeah, you were probably just like, oh my god, like, so like, yeah, like streamer brain, it's real. And I just sympathize so much with streamers since I've started doing this, because yeah, sometimes just streamers, they seem to miss something that seems obvious to the viewer, but it's just something about playing the game and like glancing at chat and like thinking about what I'm saying. Like I just feel like I wouldn't have made that mistake if I wasn't streaming. I don't know. It just but And it happened earlier too in the game. There was like a switch in the Queen's Gardens I missed, though slightly in my defense, that did blend in with the environment pretty well. And also a little in my defense, again, it's just the fact that they're right next to each other. And you see what I mean about like the camera, how it kind of like locks there. But I think if that passage had been like here, like directly parallel to the one on the right, I would not have got stuck. But I'm just making excuses. It's mostly totally my fault. Like, it was just clearly there was a passage there I hadn't gone in. And then, like, I went through it, and I went on this, like, mini, like, little, like, ridiculous rant about how, like, oh, like, the palace is just magically changing its geography, and, like, that's so weird, and that's kind of unclear, and even though I kind of thought that was kind of a cool idea in a way, but obviously that was not the case at all. I just missed something. So anyway, I'm fully aware of that. I did check the VOD, and yeah, like, that was on me. You were just laughing, yeah. Alright, but anyway, let's continue. Yeah, because I went back to the VOD and I was like, I need to double check that moment, because that was so strange. Like, did I actually miss something? That looks like it could be something. I'm a pro at doing that now. That downward slash on the spikes after the Path of Pain. I'm just gonna get my health back after trying that. It was just, the reason I got so self-conscious about it is because it wasn't that I just missed it. Like, that would have been one thing. I would have been like, well, whatever. People miss stuff in games. It's not a big deal. It was more that I started complaining about it after and, like, criticizing the game for it. And, like, that's what made me just, like cringe. I was just like, oh my god, like, come on. Like, you were just missing something like, pretty obvious. And, like, it's not the game's fault. And I feel like I've done that a couple times. I'll start being critical about something. I'll, like, jump on something, and then, like, shortly after I'll be like, oh, okay, never mind. So it's kind of like a learning experience. I gotta try to be... I'm naturally somebody who's always, like, being analytical and, like, you know, praising stuff, criticizing stuff. And when I'm just playing games normally without streaming, I kind of do that in my head, or sometimes I vocalize it or react to stuff vocally. But that's one thing. It's like another thing when I'm streaming and, like, that people can see that in real time. So I feel like I have to try to, like, check myself and try to, like, think, like, okay, let's see this through first before I criticize this or something. So yeah, that's where the Path of Pain was, and now we just can't go back. This is gonna be so easy now that I did that Path of Pain part. Look at how easy it is. It's gonna be so simple. It does just feel like so chill now with the... God. I'm just gonna go back and heal. It feels so chill now because the Path of Pain had, like, this intense music that kept ramping up. Oh. Which I did get slightly tired of when I was doing it, the music there. I still liked it. I liked what they were doing with it. Could have been, like, a little more, I don't know. There was, like, one part when, like, I had to like, I was like turning the volume down because I was like, all right, I'm getting like a little tired because it was just like the same repetitive rising melody, which is obviously what they were going for, but I still think it was mostly effective for what it did. Oh, that's cute. I think my badges are just what I always have equipped. Yeah. And we don't need that, but whatever. Turn that off again now that we're not in the pain zone. Kind of like I went to sleep right when I did that. I wanted to get one with them not sleeping. Yeah, it's nothing. This one. Is this right? Where the heck am I going? Hold on. There's a couple ways to go here, because like I could do this. I'm not sure what the clear path here is. I'm guessing this way. I wonder if that other way is like a sequence break. Or maybe it starts getting less linear. Yeah, it looks like maybe there's multiple routes now. Right in the spikes. What? Oh. I don't think I can get up there. Yeah, that seemed like it was a shortcut, what I did. Seems like we're going up in like a tower now, up to the apex. I don't even need to do that. That's funny. Something over there. So curious. Like I know this is like it's not smart, but I have to check. This game has so many secrets, and there was like the Path of Pain earlier that was well hidden. Yeah. That's okay. I actually forgot I even got that bench. Cool little shortcut there. Well, okay. Yeah, we are very familiar with this stuff. No. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of like freedom in how you approach this. Game, please. What are you doing? Oh. Okay. Just like another hub. My chair is malfunctioning. Once again, unfortunately. And by that I mean it's like sinking downward slowly. Almost looks like there's something here. It's not gonna... I really wish you could... There probably is a way that I'm not aware of. There has to be a way to cancel out without moving. Oh, you know what? Oh, whoops. Well, I thought I didn't have it, but I just noticed there's a little spot on the wall right there. Or not, I guess. Okay, never mind. God, this is annoying. Yeah, I know, I need to install more buzzsaws on the chair. Practice that. Is there any way to cancel out of this? No, like you're just locked into it. That's... As far as I can tell, you're just stuck in that when you start doing it. There should definitely be a way to cancel out of that. Unless I'm missing something. Oh yeah, wait, no, it's not the right way. Alright, let's just go bench again. Interesting is there's, at least they seem to be, just like normal birds in this world. With all like these anthropomorphic weird bugs. I've been wondering all along if like Hallownest is actually like a small, like what's the scale of it, you know, compared to like humans? Is it actually small? Are there humans in this world? Or is it like big bugs? You know what I mean? I don't know. It might just not matter. You got stupid lucky with the part I just failed at. Somehow you did it in one complete with your panicked falling to stop before the last fuck you buzzsaw, yeah. Yeah, I did that with a section earlier in this area in the White Palace. I just kind of like blazed through it in one go without thinking and just kind of got lucky. I don't know what just happened. Whoops. I like that we're like climbing a tower now. I always love that in games. You're like ascending something. It's like a big like challenge or something. Curious what's down actually. I think I went over here. Oh, it's like an alternate route. This is weird. I feel like that way is harder. Yeah, I've been terrible at doing this the whole game. Like these precise sections where you need to like stop this on a dime. I don't think that's gonna make it. Oh my god. Yeah, like that was pretty much luck. I just was like hammering that jump button. Yeah, I don't enjoy doing that kind of thing. That dash move, the dash move is so fun as long as it's not requiring precision like that. It just feels like unreliable, I don't know. Like maybe that's the point, but I just don't have like a good sense of like its momentum and stuff when I try to stop with it. I'm literally measuring the distance with like my fingers on the screen right now. Trying to gauge how far I'll dash. That was so close. God. Let's just trust the design. No, don't trust the design. I was like, they'll make it so you stand right next to it and then you go. It's like I keep being like an inch off. No point in even seeing my health here because you can't even restore it. I'm not even sure what to do there. I feel like I need some kind of like time slowing power. Why do I keep doing that? It almost feels like intuitive to go that way or something, I don't know. Like it doesn't feel intuitive to go up here. Yeah, I played an indie game last year called Chrono Gear Warden of Time by the developer of two of my favorite platformers of all time, the Freedom Planet series, which I know I've brought up to you before, Gion. But I will now shill, because I think Galaxy Trail is kind of a relatively underrated indie dev. And they make damn good platformers, and yeah, I'd recommend all their games. But yeah, Chrono Gear it's based on Hololive, which is like a VTuber like talent agency, which I did not have a lot of knowledge of before playing the game. So even if you know nothing about that, it's still an incredibly fun and like creative and varied platformer. But I brought it up, if you're wondering why I'm bringing it up, because you have like these time slowing and time speeding up powers and stuff in it. So there'd be challenges like this, but you'd like slow down like the spikes or something like that. And I think that's why I thought of that. I had like that game kind of in the back of my mind. That's why I was like, I feel like I need like a time slowing power or something here. But yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite games I played last year. It was a treat. Like, so much variety to like the levels and everything. Like every level had like multiple new ideas in them. It's a pretty long game too. You know, like for like a mostly more linear platformer. I think people compared it to like the Mega Man Zero games, which I haven't played, but that kind of gives an idea of what it's like. For me, it kind of reminded me of Kirby, just like in terms of vibes, in a way. But yeah, it's a cool game. Okay. I might as well try this. It's not gonna work, but I think you just gotta do it. It's just like timing. beacon stand? I feel like I had it that time. Yeah. Very trial and error. Because you just gotta, like, guess the right distance there. That sucked. That was a troll move. Nothing in this dungeon has been trolly yet until that moment. That's just like a do it again gamer moment. It's like, okay. I was going slow down there too. I guess I could have stalled on the walls a little more. The spikes are just so clear. They just kind of blended into the background, I guess. I didn't notice them. So careful at time those, right? Okay. Yeah, that path is so much easier than the other one. I guess I should know better than to trust a blind fall on this game, because there's been a lot of that throughout the game. Falling into acid or spikes or something. But again, I was trying to be careful there. Yeah, that's not too bad. Shit. I know they want me to go to that little platform in the middle, but you just don't have to. This part is the worst. I guess the dash does just take you there still. Yeah, once you get past that first part, it's not bad. You just gotta figure out the timing of the dash. Yeah, I just didn't see them. Yeah, I guess I could have hesitated more. See, I'm trying to be careful now because what happened last time and I got punished for it. Alright, oh, then trust the game and get killed. Alright, yeah. This part, not super huge on this part. It's just like blind jump, trial and error of the area. Okay. And it's like hug the walls, but if you hug the walls in the first area, they put spikes at the bottom of those walls, and it's like, if this whole dungeon had been trolly up to this point, it's like, okay, that's the dungeon. That's what it is. And I'm not like a huge fan of that kind of thing, but I would just like accept it. I just feel like so far it's been more fair. Like the Path of Pain felt totally fair to me. It was just like a hard challenge, but it was all just very like learning each realm as you go and everything, which I love. Not too bad. It's just little trolly there. That section, little trial and error-ish. All for us. What's next? What's beneath me? Nothing. Let's check. So we could just jump out. Let's just try doing this. Let's just YOLO it. Alright. Yep, figured. I can probably get out there with a dash. Yeah. Oh, they put a platform right beneath it. Okay, well, they just spawned me. So there's a couple things I can do here. Or not. What do I do here? Can you like move them? No. I think this is doable. It's just tricky. They haven't given me a bench yet, have they? Oh, I got the switch. That probably checkpoints. I feel like the little movement puzzles in this section have been like trickier maybe than even the Path of Pain stuff was. Just the kind of jumps they're kind of expecting you to make in this part. Nope, I saw that coming. Yeah, so I think I got the door open, so that should save. It's cool they have these little alternate routes that, like, if you like know the tech and stuff, you can get through these parts quicker. It's almost, it's kind of like a sort of a checkpoint system in a way. That was the thing about the Path of Pain too. The checkpoints I thought were really generous. And by checkpoints, I just mean there were no actual checkpoints, but those statues that refill your soul basically acted as checkpoints because you couldn't die as long as you kept refilling your soul back at those. And they would always respawn you next to them. And by actual checkpoints, I mean like no, there was no benches. It made me think of the final challenge in Super Mario Brothers Wonder, which kind of, you know, slight spoilers for that game. And I know if you're there, Gian, I know you said you might want to play that. So cover your ears for like, you know, 5 seconds. I'm not gonna say anything specific about what the challenge is. I just had one major issue with it that I'm gonna say. I thought it was a cool challenge, and it was really difficult. I was kind of surprised how difficult it was. But it was the way they handled the checkpointing in it that I think kind of ruined it for me. And they did it to make it harder, which I appreciate, but what it ended up doing was just making it tedious to me. It didn't really make it like a funner challenge for me. It just made it more tedious. And that was the difference between that and that Path of Pain, because the Path of Pain kind of, you know, it was that kind of like super hard platforming challenge. But the checkpoints made it really fun, because it was just about learning each section and moving forward. And that made all the difference. But yeah, I'm done now with the Mario Wonder talk. And that was like my only like significant issue with that game. It is a really good game. It's a super fun game, Mario Wonder. Like, you know, as a long time like Mario fan, there's other stuff I could say, like, oh, like this could have been better, or I like this better in the other game, whatever, blah blah blah. But just like in a vacuum, you know, I just mean like criticizing a design aspect. That's like the only significant thing I can think of off the top of my head. But anyway, I said I was done talking about it, and I'm still talking about it, so I'm done now. I guess I'm dashing? I was like, I don't trust the game now, so I'm gonna cancel it. I mean, Mario games are always very accessible, so if you're gonna try, they're always really accessible, really polished. They do a really good job easing you into the experience, and usually they are the kind of thing where the really harder stuff is usually more optional, so you can like get to it when you feel like you're ready for it or want to do it. And sometimes it's like, you know, that game actually has badges in it. That's probably why I call these things in this game badges too, that you can equip to give you like different abilities. So yeah, that's all just to say it's a very accessible game if you're not super into platformers. What the fuck is this? I like the idea of you just waking up one day and being like, you know what? I'm gonna be a platformer fan. And then you buy Mario Wonder. It's not like you play Mario Wonder and get into platformers. You just decide beforehand. This is my thing now. I like how it looks like the environment's getting more and more like broken down as you go higher too. Like I'm less indoors and I'm more just like up in the sky or something. If you weren't into platformers, why would you get Mario Wonder? So you can... Well, you could be curious about platformers. You could try it out and then get into them. You know what is a really wonderful game that I would recommend even to like non-platformer fans is Mario Odyssey. Because that's just like... Yeah, it's a platformer technically, but it's really like more like just like an adventure game, like an action adventure. There's a lot of like exploration and stuff in it. I adore that game. Hi Chloe, good morning. Good to see you, hope you're doing well. As you can see, we are HUDless and deep in the White Palace. Give you an update on what I did. We completed the Path of Pain yesterday. That was most of the stream. It took like 2 hours, and I got this at the end of it. Which is a big mystery, though I'm kind of guessing it has something to do with maybe getting... I don't know if there's multiple endings, but I'm guessing there might be, and maybe that's a way to get one of the endings or something. I don't know. That's my prediction. Because we saw, like, the king and somebody that looked like me. I don't know if it was me, and they kind of just, like, disappeared. This, like, cryptic little scene. I've been really enjoying it so far. I did get a little annoyed just like a little bit ago because there was a section that was a little trolly for my taste. Whereas I do think most of it has been challenging but fair, which I love. But yeah, if things start to get a little cheaper trolly, that's when I do get a little annoyed. Especially if checkpoints are generous. This is an okay checkpoint, but like I was saying, I think the checkpoints in the Path of Pain just felt like really well placed to me. Doing pretty well today. I was excited to continue this area, like I said, because I have been enjoying it. And I'm curious to see how this game is gonna wrap up. I don't know if I'll get there today. Right now I'm kind of doubting it because I'm almost an hour in already and still in the middle of this, but I was thinking like maybe if I get through the White Palace in like the first like hour, half a stream, I might be able to finish the game today, but we'll see. This might take the whole stream, but that's alright. I'll pick it up next week. I hope you're doing well. I hope all your, like you said you were going to like, you had like an event yesterday and everything. I hope that went well. I just gotta wall jump up the left really quick, maybe. The event was amazing, but the driving was bad, but it meant you got to see your nephew? That's cool. Why was the driving bad? Like traffic or something? I like driving, like long car rides. I usually just put like music on and just chill out, especially at night. Oh, you just hate driving, got it. You both hate driving, I know. I remember you said that, Gian. Yeah, I've always said I like driving. I don't like, it's just other people on the road that are the issue. The number one thing that I don't like driving is when someone's like, driving too close behind me, like tailgating me. It stresses me out so much. Especially like late at night. I used to visit these friends that lived kind of far away, and I'd always have like a drive home really late at night on the highway for a long time, and whenever like a car would appear with like their headlights on, yeah, like a car driving super close behind me with their headlights on, I'd be like, Alright, well, I'm about to get murdered. This is it. Hate it. So it'd be like 2 in the morning or something. And I'd always just like slow down and I'm like, oh, please just pass me. I do like how chill the music here is. It's kind of just saying like, hey, just take your time, you know. This is gonna take a while. But you got this. Just chill. Just get into the groove of it. Because oftentimes these like ultimate difficult challenge levels in games will have like this super hardcore like music. And it's all like epic, and I guess the Path of Pain was kind of like that a little bit, but this is not doing that. Yeah, I feel that, Chloe. I've had that experience. Yeah, I'll just be going the speed limit or like 5 above it, and someone's like so close, and like I feel like they're just raging in their car, and I'm just like, oh my god. But I always try to think, whenever I do get mad at someone like on the road or whatever, you never know what someone's going through or what kind of day they're having. Like, I know I've like cut people off just by accident before, and I'm sure like that person thought I was the biggest jerk in the world, but it was just like a legit accident. Like, people make mistakes, and you know, someone might be like going to the hospital or something. You just never know. So I try to like, you know, I get upset in the moment, but then I try to like think about that and just kind of like move on. Shit. God, that's hard. You ridiculous game. You silly little game. You silly little video game. How dare you do this to me? How dare you? God, what a troll move. What an absolute troll move that was. If you had 1 health, you would die there. Like, no one's reacting to that in time, but they put those things there to stop you. If someone gets too close to you, you go under the speed limit by 10. Because they're upsetting you, so upset them back. Yeah, like, I would personally advise against that, because you never know, like antagonizing people, it's never a good idea. I've been there. I have done stuff like that before too, and I feel like every time, some of the times I did, it didn't turn out well. I feel like the person just got more angry. Like anytime I kind of try to do something like that. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. But you know, you'll do you. But yeah, I think usually like I just like sometimes if someone you know, sometimes I might slow down a little, because I just kind of, well, if I'm on the highway I do, because I just want them to pass me. So on the highway I do that. But in that case, I kind of just like, I just keep going the speed limit, right? And it's just like, I'm doing my best. But I do know the feeling for sure. I definitely sympathize. I just know people's road rage can be really bad, so like, yeah. Is it not smart to go down here? You bet it is, but I'm still gonna do it. Because there could be secrets. Higher and higher. What's the top? This is starting to feel conclusive. This is really pretty. Yeah, so you're talking about if you're on like a more like rural road or something. Yeah. I feel like so nervous to do this. Remember when I thought that was the king? At this point, I don't think the king's gonna be a boss, because they were just like a little guy in that flashback. I do, however, think there's going to be a boss coming up. Of some kind. That's a platform, we don't want that. Yeah, this is totally a boss. Boss territory. Which, I don't know if they're gonna give me a bench. I'm gonna take a quick break here. I've been live for about an hour before I get into whatever this is gonna be. So I'll be right back. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, we're back. We got our stuff. Let's, I'll keep it off. Maybe it won't be a boss. I did go outside, yeah. I always do. It's just always so nice, especially this time of day with like the sunset and stuff. Alright, let's see what we're in for. This kind of looks like the city. Yeah, I think we're at the roof. HUD. Yep, I almost turned it on. Nope, not yet. If it's a boss, I will. There they are. Holy shit. God, I feel like this one's so much build up to the king in this game. I've just been like waiting the whole game to see what the deal with this king is gonna be. It's always such a cool feeling in a game. Alright. Jeez, look at him. Just a little guy. Yeah, their head kind of looks like, I think, what the worm looked like. Like its mouth or something. I think I went inside like its corpse. Yeah, they're just a cute little guy. Monster or food? What do you mean? When I said worm, is that what you meant? Like the W-Y-R-M. Oh, you're asking me. I would recommend food over a monster. But, yeah, your call. Food's probably healthier. Okay. Okay, bye, king. I just don't want to, like... So do I dream nail him first? Do I check what this is first? I don't want to miss something. I just don't want it to, like, warp me out when I dream nail him. Surely the game wouldn't do that to you, right? I don't want to miss something with him. No cost too great. Yeah, because I said something about the worm made some kind of bargain or something. I think the white lady mentioned that, so this might be referring to that. Or it might be in order to like stop the infection, no cost too great. Seems like maybe they were doing all these experiments, maybe they sacrificed a lot of people to make like, to try to make the ultimate vessel to contain it or something maybe. Everything the Soul Masters were doing, they could just be referring to all that. The Dreamers. Yeah, I'm glad me and Gian were able to convince you. Alright, well. Feels like, we'll see what happens. It feels like anticlimactic, but it feels appropriately anticlimactic. Like I think I like it that the king is just kind of like, yeah, you just find his corpse. Like I already heard he was dead. What do you expect? And it's just, we are in like his dream world, so I thought maybe there'd be something, but it's just kind of like there's something very haunting about this whole little, the music just goes away. It feels very on brand for this game, and just how he has such a short, like subtle line of dialogue. Like even the king is just has like no circumstance. Like even the king is just kind of like dead like everyone else or a lot of other people in the kingdom. Just like alone at the top of their palace. There's something very like haunting and effective. What is that? Huh? About it. Not yet. What is that? It's like an egg. No blazing kin. Only one light shall shine against the dark. The worm becomes beacon. I thought that said bacon for a second. Oh god, that's silly. The worm becomes beacon. Minds expanded to yield, to devote. Eternity and promise and charge and progeny cursed. I was gonna screenshot it. I was like gonna write it down, but I think I thought this off stream, but I know there's a tablet in like the Howling Cliffs that talks about how if people leave the kingdom, they lose their mind, like the gift of the kingdom. And I wasn't quite sure what that meant, but I had a thought that maybe like the king or the worm actually bestowed like sentience or something on all these bugs. And if they leave the kingdom, they actually like literally lose their mind or like lose that or um, just die or something. And they say there's like nothing out there. Though that could just be like a lie or like propaganda or something. Um, but this sounds like it's referring to that. The worm like maybe becomes beacon, you know, gave them light, gave them minds expanded, gave them like intelligence to yield, to devote. No blazing kin. No blazing kin reminds me of Blaziken, which is a Pokemon. No blazing kin. Only one light shall shine against the dark. The worm becomes beacon, minds expanded to yield, to devote, eternity and promise, and charge and progeny cursed. It's a progeny. Like progenitor. I'm thinking, is that like hornet? Not sure. Like hornet is like the king's daughter. It has something to do with hornet, maybe. Yeah, a meal is like a super snack. Anyway, let's move on from this. That's it. I always think there's more in this game. I don't know why I expect there to be more. Everything's been cryptic. So it's like the worm. Only one light. No, it says no blazing kin. So only the worm has the power to do this, or something. Or maybe the progeny means like the kingdom. The kingdom was like cursed. There was a promise of eternity, but that didn't happen, maybe. Kind of black and white color scheme here looks like the ancient basin area. Well, it's been real, King. All their knights. Unless... I did not... I'm so sorry, sir. I did not mean to do that. like a cracked open egg or something. Oh. I don't know if I want to do that. Let's go back. First. Kind of. This was... Why would they give you a health fountain? It seems like there's nothing else to do. Can't attack them. I bet they all come to life and you like fight them all. Jeez, God, like his skull cracked or whatever. When in doubt, attack, I guess. Oh, don't warn me out. I wanted to see it. Collected the King's Soul. Okay. Screenshotting everything. That's what I thought the reward for this was going to be. I hope it doesn't warp me out because I want to try sitting in the throne. No! Oh, god damn it. Why? I hate when games do that. It's so annoying. I thought sitting in the throne would be like the thing that progresses. Like there's no way to tell that. I'm trying to think like the last bench I had because like I don't want to miss something cool. That's so annoying. Soul of Worm, Soul of Root, Heart of Void, Void Heart, like the DLC. That makes me so mad, man. I hate when games do that kind of thing. Oh, and it just saved, so it doesn't matter now. Well, I missed it. What did it just do? You agree because he did the same thing. I can go back, but you'd have to climb the whole tower. Let me ask two questions. Question number one is, if I go back into the White Palace, is there a way I could just like warp to that top floor again? Or would I have to go through the whole thing again to get back up there? If you know. If you don't know, that's alright. Because I'm sure most people don't do that. It gave me a... I'm guessing because it does this, like it's not... I didn't miss anything major, but... It's just such a pet... If there's like one pet peeve of mine with games, like my biggest single pet peeve of games, it's when they progress you when you don't want to be progressed. And so many games fall into that. Because developers often assume that players will do the thing they... How do I put this? I feel like developers often assume that players will do the thing they put in front of them first, whereas it's actually the opposite. I feel like, at least I do this, and a lot of people, like a lot of streams I've watched, a lot of other people I've watched play games, will do everything but the thing that makes progress because they don't want to miss any secrets. So like there, you know, it's like the throne was like the first thing I encountered. I'm like, well, hold on a minute. Let me collect the item, and then I'll check the throne out. So this is just like a small example. I know in like some other games, they'll be like, oh, you know, go to the Forest of Illusion first. That's like an area in Mario, but I just first thing that came to my mind. It's like go to the Forest of Illusion and collect this thing. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go explore this whole area before I go to the Forest of Illusion. And then when I go to the Forest of Illusion, it's like, okay, now you unlocked the ability to go do all these other quests in that area you were just in and already fully explored. So just go do that again. Do you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of RPGs do that kind of thing sometimes. And it's like my like advice, if I'd like give this is like very presumptuous of me, but like my like advice to like game devs is like don't assume players will do what they're told. In fact, kind of assume the opposite. Like I know game development is so hard, but and I know developers do their best, right? Like I'm kind of being partly facetious, but um, and I get they kind of like have to do. Well, they don't have to, but I get why they do that. They have to cater to like the people that do just want to make progress, but at the very least, I just hate when a game just pushes you out of somewhere when you didn't do everything you wanted to do. Anyway, it's a mini little rant. There's no warp back up. Um, yeah, when you guess wrong, it sucks. Um, does it do anything major? Yes or no? Does it do anything major? Like, did I miss something major? Okay, you can just tell me. Yeah. Do you just sit on it and it's just like a little pose? I'm guessing. Um, and I can just look it up after finishing the game. I'm sure it's like nothing. Like I know I'm like overreacting to this. It's just kind of like it's indicative of an issue I have with like other games where sometimes they do this and it is something more major. Yeah, see that sucks though. That's like a cool little moment. Like I hate that. I might honestly do that off stream later. I might. Um, because if you said like, oh, you just sit on the throne and that's it, I wouldn't have done it. But I wanna, yeah, don't say anything, don't say any more because I want to hear what the music track is and everything. I'll probably just like on my own time, not like right away, but eventually, because I'll be coming back to this game for like the DLC stuff and all that. Which I still don't even know what that is. I might go through it again because it wasn't too bad in the end. Just kind of the main path through the tower and check that out. Or I might just look it up. We'll see. Because I really love this game and I want to see like every little detail and stuff as much as I can. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. What do you want to say? You can say it. Uh, so yeah, I'm guessing that just takes you back in. What are they? I wasn't even paying attention. What did they say? Yeah, they always imply the king kind of disappeared and their palace disappeared, but maybe they like retreated into some dream world to hide from the infection, but it didn't save them, or because the palace, I don't know if the palace is just because it's like gone, it's like it disappeared, or if it's just totally in ruins, because everything else is like still intact, like the city. So maybe they were trying to hide from the plague, but the king still ended up dying, or because there were other people in there, but it seemed like they were made out of like dream energy when I accidentally killed one. So I don't really know how real that area was or not. It's kind of the same for all the dream areas. Honestly, I'm still not sure what the exact nature is of them. You can only do it during the window after you knock the king down, but before you pick the item up. So you'd have to start a new game to see it. Okay. Yeah, I'll look it up later. Thanks for telling me that. Yeah, I appreciate it. That would have been terrible if I actually did that. Heard that. Yeah, that really annoys me. Oh well. Anyway, we did it. We finished the White Palace. Not too bad. For how kind of infamous it was. I always hear about it. Yeah, it was definitely a cool challenge. I enjoyed it. The Path of Pain was the highlight. You know, I thought that was really fun doing that yesterday. Some of the sections towards the end there got a little trolly. I enjoyed the first half and the Path of Pain more than I did kind of that latter section I did today, but it was still okay. And yeah, I was kind of hoping for like a boss at the end, but I kind of like I like how this game subverts your expectations. It's not always a boss. Sometimes it's just like a little poignant moment or haunting moment like that. So we got two things. We got the Seal of Binding and the King's Soul. And my prediction was like maybe Holy Charm symbolizing a union between higher beings. So is it like the King and the White Lady? Are they like the two gods or something opposing? I don't really know what the White Lady is even. She said she like bound herself and she's like some kind of tree. And the Greenkin who lived in Green Path don't seem to really trust her maybe. I like how there's all these like different little kind of cultures in Hallownest. Early in the game I thought all those plaques I assumed all those plaques I was reading in Green Path referred to like all of Hallownest, but later on I realized that this was just like the people of the Green Path are writing these things and they worship their own god, Un, and everything. I think that's cool. But there's a thing how like they don't really trust the White Lady or they're like skeptical of her. So I don't know if she's like one of those types of like plant bugs or something. The bear will slowly absorb the limitless soul contained within. Opens the way to a birthplace. Hell yeah. I know exactly where to use this. Alright, we got more to do. I figured I'd get some item that led me down some other... one right there, too. No, I really appreciate it, Gion. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, that would have sucked, for sure. Quick slash. I guess. Yeah, I was gonna say, I had a prediction maybe you'd equip this and it would like maybe that's how you get like a good ending, like you equip it during the final boss or something. I'm thinking on like Castlevania terms. I did know the name of this because somebody did let it slip in chat earlier. Because I had the first half of it, but that's kind of partly why. Well, I think I would have predicted anyway. It would have been the thing at the end of that dungeon, but it's not a huge deal. I just I did have the thought like, well, you probably get it from the king, maybe, if it's called that. So does that mean I just constantly like refill health or something? We could do that, and then I could get my quick slash back. That works. Sorry, bud. Alright, time for all the game's secrets to be revealed. Right, sure, definitely, probably not. if they even, no. If I'm right. I like how, if I am right about this, it's like how they don't give you guidance. They're like, yeah, just figure it out. Just remember. You know, it's a Metroidvania. And, like, I will never forget this area. It's the most memorable area in the whole game. So... And yeah, that talks about only the regret and refuse of their holy vessel's creation, which is in the egg above, I believe. I've been waiting for this, like, the whole game. I've been so curious about this. No? Come on. I thought for sure this was it. Damn. Oh, we're not done, because I have another idea. Back to my favorite room in the whole game. I always get like chills when I come in this area. It's just so creepy. No, not this either. Damn. Alright, I was wrong. That's exciting, because now I'm not sure. I have to figure it out. I did go all the way, when I was looking for the grubs off stream, I did come back, like I said, I went pretty much everywhere. And I did come back down through this whole area. And I went over to that big statue on the far right, which looks so cool. That's where I got the, like the shade dash that lets you dash through, like dash through enemies and like those black barriers. And, it actually had like dialogue when I dream nailed it. It said something really cryptic. I wrote it down. I can't remember. It was just like power from void or something, or power without unity, something like that. So many just little secrets in the game like that. Sorry, I just hit my mic. Birthplace. Because Hornet calls this my birthplace. I thought for sure this was it. I mean, there's several little things I can try. I've marked like all the places I have not figured out yet. Maybe it's that. This is exciting. I really love this kind of stuff. I love this in the Castlevania games too, and it's like this little puzzle. What the fuck? Oh god. Oh my god, that was so cool. That was like so scary. Alright, never mind, we found it. Oh, so there is more to the abyss, yes. Oh my god, look at all them. It's all my brethren. This is awesome. I was just saying, I love when like you have to like figure out this world-spanning puzzle in a game like this, and secrets upon secrets. We're going even lower than the abyss now. So good. This game is so good. Yeah, it's all, they all like look like me. They all have like the little cape almost and a head like mine. I love the ambience here too so much. Oh, we're in a maze, huh? control move to put that barrier. There's nothing. Usually there's like something tethering that barrier, like these little platforms above and below it, but there's not there. Which is kind of interesting. Alright, so we have 2 ways down. I think I went everywhere up there. Let's try the other way. Yeah, I don't know what I expected. I'll go the left path. This whole area is just like made out of their bodies. This is so cool. Oh, sorry, Chloe, I didn't see your message. I was so immersed. It's 8 p.m. and you're tired. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Have a great night, and thanks for stopping by. Always good to see you. Yeah, have a good night. And thank you, yeah, I will. Definitely enjoying this a lot. Yeah, super haunting. And this music is just perfect, too, for this area. Okay, so let's continue. So like cramped down here too. It really feels like I'm like just like the deepest part of the world. It's like Deep Nest, like amplified. I'm looking at all of them in the background. Sound design here is so good. Oh my god, I just got chills. It's so cool. No cost too great. No mind to think. No will to break. No voice to cry suffering. Born of God and void. Shall seal the blinding light that plagues their dreams. You are the vessel. You are the Hollow Knight. Collected the Void Heart. Okay. Thank you, Gian. Let's read what that says. Void heart, an emptiness that was hidden within, now unconstrained. Purifies the void under the bearer's will. This charm is a part of its bearer and cannot be unequipped. Does it take up a slot? I don't think it does. So... Okay, so let me start at the beginning. So... First of all, I thought that was so effective that you just see your reflection. And I thought for a second that's all it was going to be. And it's just like this very quiet, soft reveal that like this is where I was born. And I thought that was brilliant. But then we dream nail the reflection and it's like I'm dream nailing myself. So it's taking me back to a memory, I think. So they were trying to create this perfect being to stop the infection, I think. And the king mentioned the blinding light. I think the infection is the light, like I was thinking earlier. And they were trying to create some kind of perfect empty being to contain it. And they succeeded, but there were a lot of failures along the way. No cost too great. And I was actually one of those failures that they dumped down into this pit. And the little character I saw in the flashback in the tower, the palace with the king, you know, I noticed there was something off with their horns. And so they're the Hollow Knight, and yeah, their horns kind of look like the Hollow Knight in the statue in the square, which is either maybe a dramatization or what they ended up looking like eventually or something, maybe. And I think that's who's sealed away in the dark egg up above. So I think this is where they were born. Maybe. This egg. Or it could be where I was born still, but it just seems like important. Or maybe it's like the source of the infection, but I don't know. I think maybe it's where the actual Hollow Knight, and this is a very, yeah, this is like, I've experienced stories like this before. It reminds me of other things. I won't say what they are, but this idea where like you start the game and you think like you're the Hollow Knight and you're beating all these bosses and like you feel powerful and stuff, and Hornet's kind of treating you like you're special. But all along I kind of suspected that I'm just kind of like one of the rejects, you know, like there's nothing super special about me, but somehow I survived. One of the rejects survived. One of the failed attempts survived. And I think the actual Hollow Knight they mentioned is like weakening maybe, so even they're not quite perfect. And that's why Hornet now trusts me to potentially stop the infection myself. Though I think there's been other ones like me, because there was like the Lost Kin or whatever it was called, the failed vessel, a broken vessel, that boss. And there's like corpses. There's a corpse of a little vessel like me in the room where I first fought Hornet, which I was guessing implied that Hornet has been like fighting them off because they're just kind of like mindless and violent maybe, and or mindlessly trying to break the seals but aren't strong enough to actually stop the infection. So that's why she's killing them. And then when she like tested me a bunch and has been observing me and realized like you're actually different and you might actually be able to succeed, and like I believe in you now. Where is it? this? The broken vessel. Yeah, like the hunter says they've seen others like this before. It's a little like the bugs of Hallownest, but not quite the same. Where do these empty little wanderers come from? So it seems like there's multiple, maybe, that made it out of there, but I'm the one who's kind of making it the farthest, potentially. My question is, and I didn't press any buttons when, like, you saw the king and the Hollow Knight walking away. I thought, like, should I try to climb up? But I didn't want to, like, skip the scene accidentally or something, so I didn't press anything. I'm guessing I couldn't have done anything, but I thought this was gonna depict. I almost said predict. Depict me climbing out and like wandering out into the desert or something, and then I eventually came back. So my question is, like, so I fell back down in the pit and they sealed the door. But the start of the game is me being outside Hallownest in the broken cliffs and walking to it. So that's the gap in information. Like, how did I get out again? Anyway, that is what I pieced together. Obviously, I could be wrong about things, but yeah. That is what I'm understanding in the item map. It's so cool because, like, the map, it looks like there would be nothing beneath there, but there still is more. So I was born of God and Void. I'm guessing the God part is like the worm, aka the king. And the Void is something older and more ancient. That will probably never be explained, which I'm completely okay with. In fact, I think I prefer it, maybe. I like the faces in the wall. So yeah, like way earlier I was saying, like, we know nothing about this character, and I was like, maybe the character knows what they're doing, but the player doesn't, and that creates like a weird disconnect. And I was like, that's either going to be something I might criticize later or praise, depending on how they handle it. It's like, but now it seems like, and I kind of have been thinking this too more and more, I feel like either the main character is driven by something they don't understand. They just seem to be like thoughtless. So it's either that or they don't have any idea what they're doing either. They just wandered back here with no purpose, and that's when the player takes control. And the player also has no purpose. They're also just wandering around and not knowing what they're doing and discovering everything. And that's what you're doing the whole game. And maybe the character does just kind of attack things mindlessly. And so that would explain why I just encountered the first streamer and I just killed them, and then I kind of regretted it. But that might actually be a player-character connection, because both the player and the character have no real idea what's going on. They're just kind of doing things kind of mindlessly. So yeah, it's actually really interesting. Like, they are doing something with it. Like, it's not just like ludonarrative dissonance or whatever, I don't think, anymore. I think they do, you know, they know what they're doing with this story. But yeah, that's kind of how, like, I'm feeling. It's like, you know, because some games they put you in control of, like, this character who has this whole backstory and personality, but the player doesn't know. And, like, there can be kind of, like, a disconnect, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, of course. But sometimes you'll like explore an area that the character knows well. Um, just an example that pops in the head is, of course, a Zelda game, Skyward Sword. Like, Skyloft and Skyward Sword is Link's hometown. Like, that's all they've ever known. Like, this tiny town. But as a player, we're discovering it all for the first time. But like when you walk into like the bazaar in that game, it's almost like the characters don't even seem to know Link, and it's kind of weird. Like there's 20 people living in that town; they should all know each other. It's like stuff like that. Um, but in a game that's just all about exploring, having this main character that kind of just is mindless and has no idea what's going on, and the player is just kind of mindlessly exploring too. There's actually kind of like a cool connection there. It actually does like fit. Um, yeah. I'm just thinking if anything changed here. And like, I don't think this will ever be explained either. It's just like whatever existed before Hallownest. Something ancient and endlessly mysterious, deep, deep underground. Which is so cool. Making sure no other floors open up over here. Shit. Were the king and Hollow Knight throwing all those bodies down, or there's like so many of them falling? Maybe that was just kind of like a. It was like a dreamy memory. Maybe it wasn't like completely accurate to reality. It was just depicting what's kind of happened over time. Yeah, that was a really nice little piece of storytelling. Yeah, just seeing your reflection, it's all quiet, it's all player driven. The player has to figure out to dream nail it, and then having you like play out that memory and everything. I just always love stuff like that in games. I feel like nothing's black and white. Different games do different things well, but I at least feel frequently it often feels more powerful to me than just the cutscene. That's not interactive. Still have no idea what this is. That thing on the corner there. I was comparing this game's art direction to Nausicaa, especially in the Queen's Gardens the other day. Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind, Studio Ghibli movie, and I know it's like it's kind of like these bulbs above the shell in the background, but together it looks like eyes on it, and it reminds me of one of the the giant insects from Nausicaa. Actually, that kind of, well, not really. Actually, I was thinking that kind of looked like one of them, but not really. I kind of misremembered what it looked like. Yeah, the giant bugs. And yeah, the bug theme too. But yeah, the whole like jungle and Nausicaa and stuff. Yeah, and especially Queen's Gardens. And I think in the background of that junk pit area where the god home is, looked very Nausicaa. I love how the music stops when you get up there. So yeah, so this thing said, higher beings, these words are for you alone. Then who is that referring to? The higher beings part. If they didn't plan on there being other vessels coming back. And I don't think they view them as like higher beings. Maybe it's just like the elite of the kingdom or something. Our pure vessel has ascended. Beyond lies only the refuse and regret of its creation. Yeah, so they created the perfect vessel. I'm curious if my kind are these vessels. So my guess is we were people and they basically like hollowed them out, right? Just some really fucked up thing where they like hollowed them out and like injected them with void or something, and like all these messed up like experiments. Um, like maybe they were just created, but it seems like they were maybe people, and that's like the sacrifice they made to stop the infection. And I still don't even really know what the infection is or where it came from. The hunter implies it came from like above. I was thinking it came from below, but I don't know. It's interesting it's like fallen over now. Maybe because I like killed it in the dream or whatever, I don't know. Okay. I think it's a good time for a quick break. I need to collect myself after that and think about what my next move is going to be. Probably have about an hour of stream left. I'm thinking, I don't know if an hour is going to be enough. Because I'm thinking like, should I go for it? Should I just go and try to do like the final boss? I just don't know how involved it's going to be, but we'll see. So I'll be right back. Alright, I have returns. Okay. Just looking through all these. Powerful force, a resource thing of something of great importance. One of those. I'm just like taking stock of like everything, like what are the remaining things I could do. I never figured out what those are for. So weird. Collecting them the whole game. I wanted to... Am I on the bench? No. Again. Like, I just want that to be on the far left. That for now. Zoology. Yes. Quick slash. Market pride. So by viewing that memory, unifies the void under the bearer's will. This almost seems like a bad thing. Like, should I not have done that? I don't know. I wonder if there even is like a bad or good ending, or if it's just kind of up to personal perspective. Okay, let's see. Let me check my notes. I'm sorry I'm stalling here. I'm like trying to figure out what I want to do now. Okay, so we did the palace. Oh, I know at least one thing I want to go do quickly. Thank you, Xian. Yeah, so alright, what's the quickest way to get to where I want to go right now? Probably... kind of far. I wish there was an easier warp to get there. Not always super easy to get around the world when I just kind of want to get from A to B. That's where the sound like cut out for a second. It sounded like. Yeah, the exploration when you're just wandering and discovering stuff, brilliant. Like 11 out of 10, fantastic. But when I'm just trying to get from like A to B and do something very specific, could be a bit better in this game. But still, I do love the world and the traversal still, so I'm never too mad about it. This music's making me emotional now, because I'm like, I feel like I'm coming closer to concluding my experience with this game. Well, at least like the main story. That was kind of lucky. Do you see anything different? Yeah, so there were others, so it's like, I think they're referring to the other vessels. They've probably seen that they maybe also fought that came through here. We're going to the God Home, by the way, if you probably guessed that, but I really just want to look at the list of bosses there. Do I really? Oh wait, yeah, there's something. Wait, no, there was. I'm going the wrong way. There was a shortcut to get there. That's what I was trying to find. over here. Like I probably will set a dream nail warp. Like I really want it to be in the town, but this one area I'm gonna need to get back to. I want to get back to quickly. It's this one because it's kind of a pain to get back down here. Yeah, it's just a couple areas. I just think they should just let you just give you a warp to. Without just the dream nail warp. That would be the only option. This area, that background reminds me of Nausicaa so much. Even like the way it's animated. Okay. So how do I... What's up here? Put it... How do you do it again? So it's down, I think? Yeah. I'm still curious, like, so I know they added, later on they added stuff. I keep calling it DLC, but I think it was free updates, and then they called it the Void Heart Edition eventually. I'm curious if, like, this was part of it. Like, I have no idea. For now, I don't want to know. Probably look it up. That was weird. I, like, stopped in midair. Like, my D-pad kind of stuck or something. I'm curious if, like, some of this stuff is optional. Were those lit up before? No, so oh, there's a door in there. Okay, so that must be the 4th Pantheon. So then what the hell is this? That's the super boss. You probably get like a key after you beat them all. Was the Q a mistake there, or are you, like, saying you have a question? Like, I wasn't sure if you were saying, okay, question. Oh, it's a mistake, okay. Gotcha. I thought you were like, okay, question, you know? I was like, yeah, shoot. Let me just screenshot this so I can reference it without coming here. So there's another form of the Mantis Lords, I think. I probably have to beat, like, all their... I'd probably have to do, like, the challenges down here to unlock that. Or maybe it's in one of the, Pantheons. And then Nosk has a dream form. The White Defender... I wish they didn't list the ones I haven't done. White Defender I still need to do. And then there's 3 bosses after Oro and Mato, which I'm guessing this is the boss of the 4 Pantheons. Nightmare King I haven't done, and then probably the final boss. So I don't think there's any I missed out in the world. I mistakenly interpreted something down here, and that's the main reason I came back here. Yeah, so... There's 2 notches. So you must have to, like, unlock another form. And they have to... Then there's this, and then there's one up here. There's so much here. Like, it's so wild. Like, just this, all this hidden stuff you can unlock. This empty god stands at a pantheon's peak. I saw the word peak and I wasn't thinking. I was thinking like, oh, they're at the top of Crystal Peak, but no, they mean like the challenges, the pantheon, the god, you know, like the pantheon of gods, the different boss rushes. So yeah, it's one of the bosses of the boss rushes. Yep, that's interesting. I'm guessing this one is Sly, the Great Nail Sage, because I'm guessing they're a boss. The way that's written makes me think it's like a character I know. Or maybe this is them. Okay, so that's what we haven't seen. And then there's, of course, these. Yeah, so it's probably left to right. So the next one is probably Sly, maybe. Or that's really small, so I bet that is them, actually. I'm curious what those are. Yeah, the question, you had misspelled question. Alright. Okay, and there's nothing else, I don't think. Let me cross that out in my notes. Alright, I think I have a question. I think I have a question. There might be a shadow form of that too somewhere, but maybe not. I have no idea what the eggs are for. That's definitely a mystery. Don't know what this is for, but I'm guessing this and the Void Soul have to do with the end game. I never figured out what the Mask Maker's for. I never figured out what all those weird mushroom things are in the mushroom zone. It's like these weird hollowed out mushrooms and a big mushroom creature. A couple other little minor things. There's a weird grave here that's sparkling that I can do nothing with. Okay, there's something else still. Okay. Okay, I gotta hold off on my question. I forgot. This is one more thing I gotta try. I really want to know what that is. If there's one thing I want to figure out, it's that. And this weird mirror over here. That was one of the Dream Warriors was still sparkling. It's probably nothing. Those are just minor things. And then I marked the mountain peak. Yeah, okay, let me... So here's like my dilemma. I'm not gonna ask my question yet. There's something I forgot to do. While I was down in the ancient basin, unfortunately. I gotta go back there. And my dilemma is, and again, I don't want any like answers on anything yet. Okay, I gotta find my way out of here now. Probably if I just go and cross the city back to the King's Station. I feel like bad for that guy. And I think the God Home might just like exist in their mind or something, but I don't know. Yeah, my dilemma is like, after all that stuff I just did was like so friggin' cool, and there still are like several little lingering mysteries, it's like, I know I'm still missing a lot, yet I am ready to finish the game. Like, I'm ready to fight the final boss. And especially like that sealed door in the abyss, I'm like, oh, I really want to like at least try to find out how to open that. And my question has nothing to do with asking about how to do any of this, by the way. I'm still not going to ask that stuff for now. And really the only things at this point I kind of can do, besides just wandering around aimlessly and maybe stumbling on something else, is the God Home stuff. You know, the Dream Bosses there, the Pantheons, all that stuff. And that Zote fight that I still didn't technically complete in the town. Do all those phases. I did 5 of the phases. And so my dilemma is like, there's still so much in the God Home. There's all like these sealed doors and stuff. And it's like, I'm appreciating the music for a minute there. It always hits me when I come to this area. These look like little trash barrels, by the way. I've kind of been thinking, I feel like I've been thinking that like subconsciously throughout the game. Yeah, so the horns kind of look like what we just saw with the little one, but I don't know, we'll see. Because I'm guessing that's the final boss. But somehow they started looking like that or something. Or if that's like not, they actually do look like the little guy we saw, and actually that's who we're gonna fight. But we'll see. I keep losing my train of thought. What was I saying? Yeah, so there's like so much to that God Home area, and I'm like, would they lock? Like, it feels so optional to me, all that stuff, but I'm like, would they lock? If there are multiple endings or something, would they lock like the best ending? And I mean like the most satisfying narrative conclusion. Not necessarily like, oh, it just adds like a little Easter egg to the ending or something like that. Because that's, you know, fine, but am I going to miss out on, like, I'm guessing I'll miss out on some lore, but, like, will I do that God Home stuff and unlock, like, the key to get in here? You know, stuff like that is, like, and these are all, this is all rhetorical, but, because, again, I've been playing this for 2 months, and I kind of just don't want to just grind that out for another month or 2. I do want to move on within a week or so, a couple weeks. And yeah, like at this point I'm stalling so much, like I'm not gonna finish the game today. It's just taking me too long to figure out, and I didn't want to really like rush it anyway. I don't want to be like glancing at the clock, you know. I kind of want to just get into it with like a fresh stream. Again, it might not take that long, but the boss will probably be, even if it is just a boss fight, it'll probably be a hard fight. Because I got to go up here and kill them first, and then just like prepare, and then go to the egg probably. And maybe the egg's like a dungeon. And maybe that's not the end. Maybe then like you come down here after. I really don't know how long it is. I'm a little nervous to say yes just because of the stuff I'm talking about, because I have no idea what I mean. And like everything, so let me ask this, like everything I'm saying right now, I don't want like any kind of answer to. Like all the stuff I just said, I don't want to know anything about. I don't want to know if the finale is long or short. I don't want to know if the God Home unlocks anything. I don't want to know any of that. So if it has anything to do with any of that, then yeah, I don't want to know. Even if it's something that eases my like worry or anything like that, I just like I will get a bad ending first before I ask that. You're good to go. So it's nothing to do with like the game then, or let me do one thing first, and then I'll get back to you. I want to do what I came down here to do because this might do something and might give me an answer. I'm gonna turn the HUD on for this one. What do you all say again? So it's like the king. Yeah, they say they're missing. Yeah, like this statue is such a dramatization of what the king looks like, and that's what I feel like maybe that Hollow Knight statue is. Alright, 15,000 Geo, let's do it. A true servant gives all for the kingdom. Let Hallownest's pale king relieve you of your burden. Drop all Geo in the fountain. Okay, cool. Yeah. I forgot I didn't have that. Okay, I have all those now. Cool. Oh, it gives you your money. Oh, it gives you the money probably that you didn't need to spend. I was gonna say, I wonder how much it actually costs. Okay, that was just like a minor thing. All right, so that's officially like the last thing I got. Like that's the last thing I know how to do, besides the God Home and the end game. Just give me a hint of like what your thing has to do with, Gion. Like, it's hard for me to say yes when I kind of just like have no idea what it relates to, if you know what I mean. Um, like what part of the game or like what I'm saying does it kind of relate to, if that makes sense? Okay, I mean I trust you, so yeah, go ahead. You can just say it. Are you serious? Is that it? Well, thank you for saying that. Thank you for the kind words. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Um, that's all. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. That's very sweet. I appreciate it. I appreciate saying that. I appreciate you hanging out, and you know, I appreciate how supportive you've been and stuff. And you know, it's cool. Like, there's been some, you know, different people have stopped in and everything, and yeah, just everyone that stopped by, I've appreciated in any way. But yeah, thanks for being here since the start. It means a lot. Especially like the first stream when I was just like I was so nervous and like, you know, it's definitely good to have someone here. And I, you know, I had some other friends come in too, which was nice. But yeah, I always have so many thoughts about games. That's part of why I want to do this. I want to get them out in some form. And like I said, again, I have some more plans for the stream after this, but I do want to start making more time to do more stuff on YouTube. And then, well, yeah, because I want to, yeah, try to do, I keep saying it, but do some video essay stuff and like some more like let's play content and by that I mean like recording stuff and like just kind of commentating over it and trying that, see if that gets, you know, a reach on YouTube, just putting stuff out there. But yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. And okay, so okay, so we did the fountain. Yeah, and like, I mean, you and also like Gian, like just, you know, I appreciate, you know, the conversations we've had about other games and stuff on Discord. And, you know I can be wordy, but thank you for reading my thoughts. I know I said that in the past. And, you know, that was like part of what, you know, encouraged me to do this because, yeah, you know, I just, you know, in the hope that, you know, other people might like hearing my thoughts. And also, you know, like kind of my goal, one of my main goals with streaming in particular is I want to like stimulate like discussion, you know, and you know, even if it's not like a ton of people or whatever, just having like, I love talking about games and like putting my ideas out there and then, you know, hearing others' ideas and sharing that and everything. And yeah, it's like I'm trying to find a way to word. I'm having trouble wording what I want to say like in the moment, but it's like there's a lot that goes unsaid about games, and I feel like I have like a lot to say that like there's like that kind of thing where it's like if you see something isn't made, it's like you should make it. You know what I mean? And I kind of feel like I often see a lot of like videos and stuff about mechanics and specifically like raw game design and even like storytelling and lore and like let's explain all the lore. But and again, thank you for the kind words. That's enough. I'm so bad at responding to like compliments. Like I never know how to, but I do appreciate it. But I feel like oftentimes, and like there are people who do talk about this stuff for sure. I just feel like it's kind of underserved. I don't often hear people talk a lot about like things like atmosphere and the way an environment in a game like really makes you feel, or like the themes of environments in games beyond just like, oh, this is like a cool theme or whatever. You know, stuff like that. It's like something that's really important to me in platformers, for example. And I feel like I'll see sometimes like platformers that do like really creative things in that regard, but they kind of go not fully appreciated for that. And also just things like what I've been talking about with this game. When I say I love the exploration in this game, this has just become like a yap stream now at this point because I'm just stalling finishing it. And I'm going to talk about this after I finish more too, but it's like when I started this game, I came down here and one of the first things I found was this guy crying. And there was no explanation. I didn't talk to him. He didn't say, go collect all my children and I'll give you money, what like most games would do. It was just a weird thing to find, and it stuck in my memory. And then I eventually remembered it. I figured it out. Like, I gotta go back there because I saved a bunch of grubs. And then, like, you find a boss. You find, like, these weird blue things, which are kind of repeated. I went in here and found the hunter. And they weren't a boss. They were just, like, a weird character. You come over here, and it's just, like, this peaceful, memorable moment. There's, like, no other area in the game that really looks like that. But then way later in the game, I thought there would be nothing else here. But then you go down, and a giant worm spits a charm at you, and that's the only time you ever see that creature in the entire game. Like, I saw the white lady from over here, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go around and get to her. And along the way, I found all this other stuff. I fought a boss. There was like a narrative moment with Cloth. Then I finally talked to her and get like lore. Sometimes you just see a weird character like this mask maker that still has no explanation to me. Sometimes there's just an optional creepy boss. Sometimes you just break open a wall and it's just a whole new optional area. And then there's just like weird stuff, like this weird mirror mushroom thing over here that is just like strange and evocative and interesting. And I'm like, what's that all about? There's a lot of like, they're even like portrayed on the map. Like a lot of these like big corpses, like that are just unique, right? Like there's kind of several things like that, but there's like nothing else that looks like this particular giant bug corpse in the game. That's what I mean by like the exploration is so rewarding. I'm not just like finding cool new weapons or charms, which is cool when I find them, but the world is constantly opening up new secrets and evocative little mysteries and interesting little bits of lore, or just interesting sights, or memorable little set pieces, or new bosses, or whole new locations. And even late in the game when I found the God Home, it just like it just like blows me away. It's just like, they just packed in just so many ideas and just so many cool things to find in this world. And it's been one of like, again, just one of like the most rewarding like worlds to explore in a game, in my opinion. And anyway, I'm not saying, I'm sure there's like a billion videos about this game. People probably, you know, talk about the exploration, of course, but I'm kind of thinking about like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and I've you know, read a lot about both those games and stuff, and I just have not seen people talk about, kind of compare how those two aspects of the game compare, and how, in my opinion, both games handle that kind of thing differently. And I think Tears of the Kingdom, I'd personally criticize it as being a bit more typical open worldy, where the rewards for exploration are more like loot and zonite that you mine and just like stuff to influence the building mechanics. It's very mechanics focused, whereas in Breath of the Wild you would find stuff like, you know, a bit of a spoiler warning for Breath of the Wild. I know you've played it, Gion, but if anyone's lurking, you find stuff like the Lord of the Mountain, which is so cool and so mysterious and doesn't really have an express purpose, or like that corrupted dragon that you help, or like those pitch black ruins that are such a mystery and so interesting that they spawned all these theories for years until Tears of the Kingdom came out. And it made that world feel so evocative and interesting, like there could always be something new around the corner, even when you thought you'd found everything. And this world kind of gives me a similar feeling. And I never see anyone talk about that, and it frustrates me, because like when I see like Tears of the Kingdom, the rhetoric just be like, oh, it just does everything but better. It's just like a more expanded Breath of the Wild, and like all the reviews that gave it a 10 out of 10 say that. I'm just like, no, it's not. It's missing something, right? It's missing like a key part of what made that first game so special to me. Like, it's all subjective. Um, you know, if you like Tears of the Kingdom more, that's completely fair, but this is just how I feel about it. And I see the mechanics talked about, I see the story talked about, I see so many other things talked about, but that element. That's why it's boring. I would never call Tears of the Kingdom boring and bland. I know you're probably kind of like half kidding, but yeah. And there's a lot I can still praise about Tears of the Kingdom, and it's not devoid of that kind of thing. The first time I found one of the Bargainer statues in the depths, I thought it was so creepy and cool. I loved that. The problem is, like, you know, there's multiple of those, right? Like, everything in Tears of the Kingdom you find, you think it's a special moment, it's usually, like, repeated in some way and becomes, like, a more routine kind of situation. Like, in Tears of the Kingdom, there's only one Lord of the Mountain in one specific place, and you'll never forget the first time you find it. And obviously there's repetition in Breath of the Wild, too. I'm not... You know, I recognize that. It's just, I do feel like it is, in its own way, especially because if you played it first and the world is fresh too, there is more stuff that actually stands out as like truly unique to me in terms of like little things that you find in the worlds and stuff like that. Anyway, there's a lot more I could say about that, but I'm just kind of rambling. I'm just trying to find a way to say that I just have a ton to say about games, and yeah, that's why I wanted to get into doing this. And yeah, I appreciate your support, Gian, and kind of being encouraging in that regard. Anyway, I need to take a sip of water. Anyway, what the hell am I doing here? I did want to eventually talk about that. You know, it's going to do it after I finish the game, but I kind of just said kind of what I was going to say. I was going to, like, maybe do a stream where I just chill and run around the world and kind of, like, point out all these cool things. And, like, that's why I think the exploration is so special. But that's kind of what I, like, was just doing. I might still do that. Alright, so here's my question. I'm missing a charm, and I know if I get them all, I get, like, a special one from the charm shop. This thing could be anywhere, and I'm not going to ask where it is. I don't want to know that. Unless it's the answer to this question. And I don't want to know, like, what the charm is. I know that the hunter mentioned they give you a reward if you complete the journal. And I just want to know, is the reward for the hunter's journal the last charm? And that's all I want to know. I don't want to know anything else, just yes or no. Does the hunter give you this one charm that I'm missing if you complete the journal? And I think, yeah, I think that's the only one. I love this guy so much. Get some screenies with my bud.
Akala, en tono.
Ecobus.
Sorry for doing that. I don't think I read this or saw this. Another bug's arrived, and quite a racket he's making in the square. Worse, he's not a Geo to his name. Only that blasted squealing instrument. Why is it always the poor that decide to stay? Okay, buddy.
Zuma Concon.
Yeah, I don't think I saw that dialogue. No, it is not the last charm. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. That's good to know. Because if it was that, I don't want to like look for it and like it, you know, it's just that. I figured there was a possibility it's that. And I don't know if I'm gonna bother to complete the Hunter's Journal. I know that is like another thing that I haven't done. But okay, well that's good to know. I am curious what the reward is, but
Bapanada.
oh, Bapanada.
Muma, Desiree?
Yeah, it automatically does that when I press A for some reason with these characters.
Opum Sanjo.
Are you enjoying yourself down in the ruins? At times my husband makes Hallownest sound a wonder, but sometimes it seems a ghastly, dangerous place. I don't know if you were here, Gian, but I was like joking. I remember Chloe was here. I was just joking at like they said that dialogue like the whole game, so I was just kind of like I just feel like I have it like memorized. That's what Chloe said, they have it like memorized too, because it's just I kept talking to them expecting new dialogue and it would just always be that. He kind of says Bapanada too, so baklava. Yeah, baklava. Okay. This again. Yeah, it sounds like. I'm wondering if I use this somewhere else, but I can't think of anywhere else I would use it. I could go like check every little thing again, but okay, so here's the plan. Like I said, I'm kind of content to return to this game now and again and just if I get not the best ending right away, that's okay. I'm content to return to it now and again and slowly figure it out. Like, part of me is thinking, like, oh, I do want to go, like, complete the God Home and do everything, and there's probably cool, more lore to discover, but, I don't want to get, like, burnt out, you know, and I am kind of, like, into the story. I'm just curious to see how it ends. So, at this point, I'm ready to finish it. I would go kill the Watcher and then go to the egg. I am ending stream for now, but I'll be back next week, but here's what's kind of tricky. Let me look at the calendar. So my next stream... How should I handle this? You know what? I might have to think about this. And... yeah, I'm going to have to think about this, how I'm going to do this. I might... so I'll post on my Blue Sky what my plan is. sometime in the next couple of days, like over the weekend, at least before Monday. I might. So my original plan was next week was going to be to stream actually Tuesday through Friday because Summer Game Fest is going on. I always, I'm a big like I miss E3. I always loved E3, and Summer Game Fest is like the best we get these days. And I know there's some issues, but I like how it has so many indie presentations, and I just like to watch a lot of the stuff. I always love seeing cool new games. So I know Sony on Tuesday is doing a big state of play at 5 p.m. EST at least. And then on Friday is the big like Jeff Keighley show, and then there's the Day of the Devs indie presentation after it. There's also some other stuff going on, like there's some indie presentations going on that Thursday as well that I might potentially stream, but since I am ready to finish this, I want to like dedicate a whole stream to it. I want to like start the stream and finish it, and I couldn't do that if I started Tuesday because I want to do the state of play first. So I could maybe still do it after. I'd still have like maybe I still have like a couple hours, like maybe, I don't know. So I might stream Monday and try to finish this game Monday at my usual 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. time. And just dedicate that to doing the end game. And then like, I'll probably talk about it after, and if there's some extra time, possibly try some of the extra bosses and whatever other extra time I have next week playing this. That's what I would do. I would just try to do some of the God Home stuff and just chill and talk about my experience with the game, and then probably the following week I'll move on to something new on the stream, and then eventually every now and again in the future I might jump back into this game on stream and just try some more of the God Home stuff, or if there is like more endings, try to get them or something. So sorry I'm stalling. But yeah, I'm either going to, I'll wrap it up. But like I'm either gonna stream Monday at 7 p.m. and finish it, or my next stream would be Tuesday, and then maybe after the state of play, I might just either finish it then, or maybe I might just try like some of the extra bosses and then finish it Wednesday. Because I just don't want to like rush the ending. I'd rather have a full stream. So. Yeah, and if I streamed Monday, I would probably stream Monday, Tuesday, either Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, and just do a 3-day week. And then, or like Monday, Tuesday, and then either Wednesday or Thursday, and then again, I'll blue sky about it. I'll post it there. And sorry. I'm just like, I'm always like this when I get to the end of a game. I'm like, how do I just finish it? It was like that with like Xenoblade 3 too. It was like, am I ready to finish it? Have I done everything I wanted to? But yeah, but I'll make a post about it at least before Monday. And yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards maybe just doing it Monday. I just have to like check again. I can't remember if I like something to do that day. I can't remember, but because I was originally doing the next stream I was originally planning it to be the next stream to be Tuesday, but I might just like finish the game Monday, and then that'll be like a fun way to, then I'm done with the game, and then I can just like, I'm going to try to do, just some chill like reaction. I've always wanted to do that, try to like stream an event and just talk about it while it goes on. And then after that, I would just like try some of the extra bosses in this game and stuff. If that makes sense. But yeah, anyway, thank you a lot for being here, Xion, again. I really appreciate it. Obviously, there's never any pressure to be here. If I'm yapping at the end of stream like this and you're like, hey, I gotta go, like, please, like, you don't... I'm kind of just saying, I like to say this stuff just to have it at the end of streams, you know, if anyone checks the VOD or anything, just so they know my plans. It's not like, you know, like, I'm just kind of saying it in a general sense, so anyone can see it, hear it, and also just thinking through it myself. But yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, we beat the White Palace, so that was cool. I'm glad to have like finally done that area. It was a cool area. I thought it was fun as like a challenge. Maybe I'll save these thoughts for the end game. I had some other thoughts about how it was very video gamey, right? Like it kind of stood out. Like a lot of there's a lot of the world is kind of like this to an extent, but I feel like this world it still feels lived in, it still feels immersive, but that palace was just like, this is a video game level, you know what I mean? Like just like this nonsense like buzzsaw land. And I kind of feel like it's the kind of thing you see in like a lot of games, so it kind of felt just on that level, like thematically, like a little generic. Like I kind of compare it to like, I don't know, like in like other platformers I played, like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. You have these difficult levels, and the bonus levels in that, like the hardest levels in that, are also kind of like samey aesthetically too. But I'm more thinking of the regular levels, like, you know, there's a level that's like a fruit factory that has a bunch of like machinery and stuff, but it's like themed around that, and it feels like more original and like, you know, creative in that sense. I liked how it, like the art design was still gorgeous. I loved like the white, you know, color scheme and all that, and the atmosphere. But it just kind of felt like it reminded me of like, I haven't played it, but what I've seen of Super Meat Boy and games like that, it kind of reminded me of like Celeste, which I kind of expected that a little bit, I guess, but I don't know. It's not the kind of thing where I'm like necessarily like, oh, this is a huge, big deal to me. It's more just, I know it's mainly just meant to be a challenging gameplay segment, and I did enjoy it on that level, so. So Gianni said, to be honest, you read the Buzzsaws as Dream Logic. Dream Logic, man, loves spikes and saws, apparently. Yeah, and I agree. I think that's what they were going for. It was kind of unclear how much of a reality there was there, but it seemed like it was. But even in that sense, it's just kind of like a flimsy justification, but it's fine, I guess. It's just kind of like, why buzzsaws, right? Like, it doesn't seem to fit anything else like going on in the game, but I don't know. It's just thoughts I had on it, but it was still a really fun segment. I would say it, like, you know, more or less like lived up to its kind of reputation as kind of this really fun challenge gauntlet. And just kind of at the end, it being kind of like a quiet moment with the king was interesting. And the end of the Path of the Pain too. Okay, enough yapping. I gotta go. But again, thanks a lot for hanging out, Shion. Anyone lurking, thanks a lot for watching. I'll be back next week. Again, I'll post on my Blue Sky, it's linked down in my bio, what my plan's going to be for next week. But I'll either be back Monday at 7 p.m. EST or Tuesday right before 5 p.m. EST for the Sony State of Play. So that's the tentative plan. But the next time I stream this, or at least next week at some point, I'll be most likely doing the final boss and finishing the main story. So I'm excited and nervous for that. But anyway, all right, I'm out of here, and thank you again, and have a wonderful time zone, Gian. Again, appreciate you being here and everything. Thank you, and anyone else lurking, have a great one too. And okay, take care.